welcome to the Swift Talk. I'm Kate, the Swifty.
And I'm not so swift Sam, the Sam. That is not so swift. There it is.
Um, we're celebrating today
What are we celebrating?
the 1 year anniversary of our Tortured Poets,
Wow.
our department.
Has it really only been 1 year?
I know, it feels like this album has just been so ingrained in our psyches forever.
Yeah.
It's also been a year since we've gotten new music from Taylor.
Womp
I
womp.
know. Crazy.
Would you say this is the third longest period?
No, it's the longest we've gone this decade.
Okay. You'll be fine.
In the 2020s. The last time we had to wait this long was between Lover and Reputation.
Okay, you'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Tortured Poets is climbing back up the chart.
Really?
Yeah, Fortnite hit #1 in the UK.
Oh, now the Europeans are aware of us.
Yeah,
UK, man.
they're like, oh boy, those Americans. Yeah, Tortured Poets. It's been a year. There's been a lot of conversation around it. Was this something that didn't get a fair shake when it first came out?
Didn't get a fair shake?
Yeah. So, if you remember, put your way back brain in. Tortured Poets was met with reviews. They're like, it's Taylor. So it's Taylor, but not really what we were hoping for. I think it was interesting to see how on top of the world she was, and when she dropped this, it wasn't what people were expecting or wanting. So it didn't really hit in the same ways. It wasn't.
It hits different.
It
is what
hits
you're saying?
different.
Mm.
The Grammys snubbed, nominated, but not one award. People just kind of, the Swifties love it. But there was no breakout single. There was no.
Well, it's a Taylor Swift album for the Taylor Swift fans.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think they're at that point where so many people who were in the Taylor, I have to go to the Eras tour. I'm a Swiftie because I went to the Eras tour. So many new people had joined the fan base that when they got this, they were like Midnights was great. What is this?
Sure.
And so I think it's interesting now to see a year in how people have embraced it and how you're still getting trends out of it. And people are like, oh no, it's Guilty as Sin Day, or oh no, this should be the thing.
Well, marketing genius, great businesswoman, phenomenal at making her wealth exponentially grow. All right. But it kind of ties back into it's the other side of the the Disney bubble. It's you see that movie and you're like, oh my God, this was the best movie I've ever seen. Hey guys, we're gonna have a streaming service. Oh, we should get that streaming service because then we'll have. It's not always what you wanted. The Eras Tours was its own experience.
Yeah.
So of course you're caught up and be like, yeah, I'm gonna buy the next album. Yeah, I'm gonna listen to this, and it's not that. It's in no way, shape, or form the same thing because the Eras Tour is great because dynamic performances, the live band, all of these albums and eras, it's phenomenal. And where else can you see a concert where you have so much 3 hours worth of your entire repertoire of music? Most bands will play for an hour to an hour and a half.
Right.
Unless it's Pearl Jam or Fish or The Dead or whatever.
And Springsteen, yeah.
Yeah, it's a festival. That night is a festival. But it's enough of going, the transitions were there, and your tight block of the next 32 minutes is this.
It was.
So we're going to do 15 minutes of that.
Broadway meets.
Sure. And then you're getting this album, which is cool and new, except that you're but it's not. It's good. It's just not exactly this. The pageantry's not there. The album has a very big tonal shift.
Yeah.
Taylor's great at making sure each of her songs sounds like they belong on the same album.
Yes.
But this album.
Yeah, no, and I get it. I remember, it took me, the first time I listened to it, I was like, huh, okay. And then 4 or 5 listens in, so, the next day, I was like, oh, I get it. I get what we're doing here. And I think like I come at it with this huge wealth of Taylor Swift knowledge because we do this once a week. And a lot of blind faith of, well, Taylor said yes, so okay. But I think if you are just like a casual fan or like new to it, you're not going to get the nuances. You're not going to understand the impact of some of these songs. Like some of it, you have to be like, why is she singing about Kim Kardashian all these years later? Like, why is she like, who is she upset with? Who's the tattooed golden retriever? That Joe doesn't have tattoos. Like, you really had to be immersed in the cult, for lack of a better word, into the Swiftie dynamics
Mm-hmm.
universe, to really understand what like some of these songs were about. And even like a year later, I'm still going, oh, oh, that makes sense. I get that now. Okay, I missed that. Because there also were 31 songs to like parse through. And I still don't feel like I've got a handle on the back half of the album.
I mean, for me, I definitely am not the biggest. I know a lot about Taylor. Still not a fan at all. It probably would have sounded like an album of vault songs. I probably wouldn't have.
I think people have a hard time separating the art from the artist
Sure,
with this album.
sure. No, that's what I call Picasso, Volume 4. Yeah, I get it. But I guess great. Great. It's a year later. It's still getting some love. It's getting back on the charts.
Well, I mean, it never left the charts, but it's moving back up the
Never left the
charts.
charts. They keep making those numbers higher and higher. It's never going to leave
And
the
it's
charts.
just been sitting at 23.
Not really feeling 22, huh?
Well, who knows where it'll be this week?
What else you got for us?
Well, speaking of Taylor Tours, a charity called Unbridled Eve has an annual auction the night before the Kentucky Derby. And they put out an auction item signed to Taylor Swift guitar, 2 tickets to her 2026 tour.
Interesting.
So, of course, the Swifties casually clocked it. And we were like, 2026 tour? What? What is this? And then there was a division in the TikTok Swifties where it's like, oh my God, it's an Easter egg. Like, it's coming. Travis is a big Derby guy. Like, this makes sense that Taylor would be there. And this is it. And then the other side of the Swiftie fandom is like, ooh, someone's in trouble. Unless Taylor's telling us that she's going on tour, we're not clowning for the tour. So a couple days later, the charity comes out and they were like, so it's a signed Taylor Swift guitar and tickets to the next upcoming Taylor Swift concert, whatever that may be. And we're all like, who donated it? So we'll see what that means.
Mm-hmm.
But
Probably because it's like, oh, if you're giving away merchandise for a musician, you should probably include tickets. So they're like, yeah, we'll get tickets. Like, it's not a big deal, whatever.
yeah.
It's a Derby day, come on, put on your Derby hat, have a julep, just freaking get some tickets to a concert. Taylor Swift, how hard could that be?
I can absolutely see that conversation happening.
I do love the idea of the poor, unfortunate soul that promised these tickets and now is responsible for getting the next pair of tickets, sitting on their computer, refreshing, trying to find these tickets because they don't have their Capital One card, and they don't have all these sign-ups, and they don't have a VIP listing.
Yeah.
Just trying to get it for the people that they promised it to.
At this point, they're probably just like, whatever it costs, just buy it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Because, like, you don't even know where she's playing. So, like,
Has she been to derbies?
I don't think so. Maybe when she was younger, not in modern
Mm-hmm.
Taylor lore.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe she's going back to country.
Well, speaking of that, so the gossip blog Dumois.
Dumois.
Yeah, Taylor loves Dumois. Posted that the new album is in process. It's, a happy return to her pop princess roots.
Uh-huh.
And, all about her love story with Travis, and that she and Taylor and Travis are still very much together, very happy, living their lives.
Okay. So here's what here's what that information gave me.
Okay.
Is that the reason why Tortured Poets a year ago with 30 some odd songs and anthology versions of that.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I need to lock myself in the studio and crank this crap out and get all the angst and everything out of my body because I know that I'm not going to have that in a year. I'm going to have all that negativity is going to be gone. It's going to be replaced by like positivity and a healthy relationship and like, yeah, you know what? I probably can marry this guy and like all that good stuff is going to be there. So she's like, I got to get every little grudge that I can still squeeze some art out of.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
I don't think that's an inaccurate take on this. Yeah.
You don't think it's an accurate take?
Inaccurate.
Okay.
I think you've gone some there.
Oh,
I also think that in some ways when you're in that new relationship and you're like, oh, okay, this is actually something. Like this isn't just like we're dating. You really got to get over all your crap with your ex. You've really got to like put that to bed so you can fully step into this new relationship. So she's like, look, Trav, I got to put out this album. I got to get it out. And then like, we're good. Like, I don't have to talk about them. I don't have to think about them anymore. Like, we're done. Like, closing the chapter. And she closed the chapter. And so I think he's like, yeah, babe, knock yourself. I'll show up in Paris and put a suit and lubes on and dance with you to, I can do it with a broken heart. Like, I'm in. Like, what do you need? Put me in, coach.
I mean, so essentially she's going to be redoing Lover. She's going to be like, that was Taylor's version, but now we're really doing it right.
I think it's like actual love this time. Hopefully no anxious attachment and whatever comes next.
Yeah. If I just keep smiling, things will be good.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. There you go. You make a new album.
Yeah, I think I'm whatever Taylor gives us. I think it's interesting that the machine is really pushing us towards like clowning for Taylor Swift 12. So maybe we'll shut up about Reputation and Debut. It's like we all got so wound up at the Grammys 2 years ago being like, Reputation, she's announcing Reputation. And she's like, gotcha. Meet Tortured Poets. And we're like, oh, okay. Okay.
We know you really want that bicycle, so we got you a helmet.
You really want this bicycle, so we got you a monkey.
I feel like people would be more satisfied with the monkey, though.
I was really satisfied with Tortured Poets. I was thrilled.
Sure.
I like Tortured Poets. I still listen.
You won't stop. It's been a year. You won't stop talking about it.
I know. And we get to talk about it all day today.
Perfect.
We're in our Tortured Poets era. I was explaining eras to the new guy at work, and he's like, I don't understand. And all the boys at work are like, oh, wrong thing to say.
He never will.
He's like,
still don't.
You just say, yes, Kate, this is the whatever, and pick an era. And she'll tell you if you're right or wrong. And he goes, but there's more.
I have an easier time making sense of Skibbity, Ohio, Flint and Steel, all the things that the kids are saying. Taylor Swift eras no idea.
It's like art eras.
You say
Classical, neoclassical, Baroque, Renaissance, Impressionism, Expressionism, modern, postmodern.
Contemporary.
Contemporary doesn't really count anymore because they have to actually name it.
Counter.
They call it's either contemporary or new, but you can't really like those aren't gonna like hold up because you can't in like 40 years be like, well, that was the contemporary art era.
I feel like Taylor should do something for anti. She should be on that label for a minute. Anti-label. It's like the deep dark.
You know, I know.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're in our Tortured Poets era today.
Okay.
Your favorite. What song are we doing today? Do you remember?
Who's afraid of the big bad Virginia wolf?
We are going to talk about that.
We are?
Maybe.
Okay.
See where the conversation goes.
All right. Well, I'm building my house out of sticks.
All right. Big bad wolf. We're going to hit pause. You hit pause. And we're going to listen to Who's Afraid of Little Old Me off Tortured Poets. We'll be right back. Well, Sam.
Pass. Look, it's not me. It's you.
No, it's definitely you.
That's fine. This feels like a muzzled all too 10. It feels like where it should be that belty kind of rile up. I'm not quite getting it. It feels like it's lay everything out on your side of the argument so your opponent has nothing. It feels like you can't bully me. I've already been bullied.
That's what it
there's
is.
well yeah, but there's a lot of that stuff there that's like that's interesting, but the song itself, I'm like, it feels like this is 5.5 minutes of like you're tired.
It sounds like a Lana Del Rey song.
Yeah,
It does not sound like a Lana Del Rey
it
song.
does sound like a Lana Del Rey song. The cadence to it, I do this 3 syllables, and then I do a little bit more. It's it does it's okay. That's why I feel like it's tired, because Lana Del Rey or that type of like ethereal, smoky, it's a whisper through your gritted teeth. Like this feels like an imitation. And that's the hard thing of like Taylor's good, but Taylor shouldn't be doing imitation shit.
I mean, I think you go into these songs looking for reasons to hate them sometimes, and I think this is no different. I think
No.
that you have a long history of shitting on Taylor and not giving it a chance, and you literally were like, "I'm not a Taylor fan." 30 seconds into the show, so like I get it. Like you don't get it. You don't understand where she's coming from, and that's fine. But maybe like pull the microscope back a little bit.
I'm pulling. How much further can I go
I
back?
just think
I'm
that
in the nosebleeds. You're in the bleachers.
I just think that you're like immediately discounting it because you couldn't relate to it, is what you do.
So I jump from the gallows and I levitate down and I stop the party with like a record screech with a scream. Like, okay, that cool. Like I can get that. I think that you threw me in a cage just to call me crazy. Yeah, it's called being gaslit. Yeah, it's called being you're weaponizing the negativity that's happening to me to help yourself. You're calling me nuts. Oh, I get drunk off my own too. I think there's a lot of stuff that I can understand because it's Taylor, but I'm saying that this song doesn't quite have that pop.
I disagree.
Perfect.
I think that you never think her songs have a pop unless it's Shake It Off. So I mean, okay. Like this is not new information for any of us.
Educate me, dude. Teach me.
May I? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Do I have permission?
I think that's exactly what's wrong with this song is that attitude. Can I have your permission to be me? It's no, dude, do your freaking thing.
That's the point. That's the absolute point. You've got people who are telling her to do exactly what they think she should do. And then when she does it, they're like, you didn't do that right. That doesn't quite hit right. That your feelings don't work for me. You are exactly why she has songs like this.
No.
Yeah. You have been guilty of saying some of these things that she's singing about. That she's drunk on her own tears, using her own tears to her advantage. Not everything's about Taylor. Maybe it should be. These beefs or whatever, like who's really afraid of Taylor. Like these are all of the things that, not for nothing, men in this society have levitated at her, have thrown at her. And here we are perpetrating that again. Like, just take a minute, Sam, and like think about things instead of being like anti-Taylor at all moments. Like, just give it a chance.
Okay.
And I don't feel like you've been doing that. So these conversations are getting a little hard.
I hear these songs for the first time every time we do them. I react to them. Reactions can change, mindsets can change, things can change. But again, like my first impression is this sounds like an imitation song. It does not have the same power as some of our other songs that I feel like would be in the same avenue. The poetry is there, but it's kind of this. It's a song that if I heard this live, I feel like it would either have to be like full out over the top and you can't hold back because in this it's too reserved on a recording, on an album. Like it doesn't have, it makes it feel like there should have been more. It makes it feel like it's more of like a whimper than a wail.
And I think that's kind of the point. I think that she can't wail too much. She still has to temper herself. She still has to be like a little bit in the box because she still is going to get the blowback from it. Like she can't really release everything. She can't fully say it with her whole chest because she could lose everything at a moment's notice. And like she could. She absolutely could. She could get, if you think about it, last time she was on top of the world, Kanye and Kim came out.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Swift is over. A single doctored phone call by somebody who is equally as famous as her turned everything against her. She got canceled. She got bullied. She got completely knocked off her pedestal. They gave her the tiara. They took it away. And she was a joke, an absolute joke for years. She went into hiding. She didn't know who to trust. Now she's back at the top of the world again. She's got Maddie Healy, who's unpredictable at best. Who knows what he's going to say? She's got this breakup with Joe Alwyn where everyone's like, saw that coming. Like, oh, Taylor's breaking up with another guy. She's had her masters taken away from her, and Scooter's out there talking all sorts of trash about Taylor, Justin Bieber. Like, she's got some really big enemies. And, like, I can understand why she would put out a song where she's, like, asking the question of, like, who's afraid of little me? You should be. But she's still not able to give it all of the power because she's still not entirely sure that they should be. And I think that's kind of a perspective here that if you, like, take a minute and you're not like, pass, you can see that it's nuanced and it's bigger than just this, like, declaration of independence or, like, planting her flag on her battleground. She's over here being like, you say everything's not about me, but maybe it should be. Like, maybe I should take these, like, little things personally. Maybe these, if I had paid more attention to these little slights, I wouldn't have been blindsided when it came down. And I think that you have to give her a little bit more credit in her songwriting and her vision. Just be like, it's Lana Del Rey. Like, sure, she may have been inspired by it, but it's a different vibe from where Lana is now. And I think they do share a producer, so maybe it's a Jack Antonoff. But I think that the whole point of this is that it's a bigger picture than what it just says. And that's why this album has been a slow burn. Because you have to take a minute. You can't just immediately be like, nah. Or you're going to miss something really important.
But I don't feel like this is a song where if you're saying I can't step out of this box that you helped me build and I can't say it with my chest, I can't go full. I got to disagree because I feel like that's already happened and we've seen that because where this is like the timepiece. If this album's the timepiece and it's really dealing with like the post always be my always, post DJ, post all this stuff, like she's already stepped out of it because yes, she did. It can be taken away. Something can always happen. But when you look at the orchestrated attacks that happened to her, and she lost a lot of credibility, love, respect, whatever it is when it came to Kim and Kanye saying stuff, and what she rebuilt after COVID and her relationship falling apart and coming up again, I think all that was really you saw in Midnights. And where this album right here, it feels like a lot of these things, it's not. To me, if I say monotonous, it's like, okay, because I don't like Taylor Swift. But I'm saying, like, these things just sound too eerily the same vein, the same track, and yet slightly different pageantry. This one, the banner is the sash goes left to right. This one goes right to left. This song feels like it's a cheap imitation to her own songs. I think that
and see,
All Too
I
Well
feel like
blows
it's
up.
more nuanced than All Too Well.
So I think that the nuance and everything, it's like, you know, it's more finesse than it is brute, right? This is more of a finesse song.
Mm-hmm.
And because either I don't acknowledge or I don't know all of the lore or where to look for the hidden details, I'm not going to truly appreciate it. But I feel like that's kind of like saying, here's a photo and then here's a hidden eye photo. You can look into the hidden eye photo and see there is more of the image, but then here's the photo. And if you don't get it, shame on you. I think that, again, that it's the argument of being like, I'm going to lay everything out. So if anyone tries to attack me, they're already, trap's been sprung.
Smart,
but why? It's because you're looking for the fight. You're looking for someone to argue with.
She's not looking for the fight in this. She's not looking for someone to argue with. She's taking all of the things that
Who's afraid of me?
I would love to finish my thought. She's taking all the things that happened to her, the heartbreaks, the trauma, and she's writing an album about it, which is what artists do. She's taking these moments where it's like, all right, like, these are the thoughts you have. This is how you're processing. Like, when you're in that and you're in it, you're saying this to, like, who's afraid of little me? You should be. Like, who's afraid of Virginia Woolf? Like, she was just this housewife who lived her life, got a divorce, like, whole thing. Like, who's afraid of the big bad wolf? He just blew your house down. Like, the people who end up being the ones you're afraid of end up being the bad guys. So, like, am I the bad guy now? Like, am I the one that you, like, yeah, you should be afraid of me, but now am I the asshole? Like, what's happening here? And it's a hard thing to, like, come out. Like, All Too Well, that's a great song. One of her, like, her best, her masterpiece. But it's also very coming from, like, what was done to her. She was broken. This is reclaiming that land of hers. Like, you should be afraid of me. I do have my own legs to stand on. I am somebody who's got their own power. You can't control me anymore. You can take my masters, I can re-record them. You can cancel me, I can come back. You can give me the tiara, you can take it away, I can still be on this stage. I can still sell out. You can't really, after you've been knocked down so many times and had people discredit your work or not give it the space to, like, breathe and just immediately be like, not a great album, Taylor, sorry, we're out. You get a little, like, you can say it defiantly, but you don't say it petulantly. And I think what maybe you were looking for here was a little more petulance, a little more, like, showmanship of anger, where I think it hits a lot harder, where she's just, like, in the pocket with it. Like, it varies between, like, yes, you should be afraid of me. Very calm, like, yeah. Or, like, screw you, you should be afraid of me. And I think that's a delicate balance. Like, I don't need to see Taylor screaming, fuck the patriarchy anymore. But I need her to, like, hold her ground and be like, yeah, this sucked. But I'm back. I'm here. You should be afraid of me. Like, I should be able to say what I want to say.
Yeah, sure. But
And
again, you're just saying two different things of being
I think I am.
It's so easy to lose this, and yet you want to take my masters, I'm going to take them back and re-record them. You want to do this, I'm going to do that. It's you're playing checkers, I'm playing chess. I get that. Like, that's strategic.
But
And if you want to relate it to Virginia Woolf and its stream of consciousness, where it's all just, these are the thoughts, and you spiral into doubt, and you do these things. Sure, but it's the avenue's not clear enough in this where it sounds like this is a Taylor Swift, and if it's all you can choose any of these 6 options of what the song really means. Okay, that's stream of consciousness, but it's not going to be relatable. It's not going to be picked up the first time. It's not going to be there. So I'm listening to this and, like, this is I chose avenue door number 2. Like, it's kind of like, it's a pass. Like, it's not quite, there's nothing too harumphy about it. There's nothing too delicate about it. There's nothing too grabbing. It's interesting and it's over. Like a thought. It's not just there. Like, again, like, this album is Taylor Swift making an album for Taylor Swift fans. They're going to appreciate the most. It's not that I'm not trying. It's just that it's like,
I think in some ways, so you aren't trying. Like, and I'm not trying to, like, battle this out with you, but I do think you have a preconceived notion that you're not going to like a Taylor Swift song. And I think that's kind of what this whole point of the song is for people who be like, pass. Like, I think you opted out from the first chorus. I think you are predisposed to not like Taylor. And so like songs like this, you're not going to give a real like 100% open listen to.
I disagree.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you were motioning for something else besides the banner. I thought you wanted to say something. It's sad. There's not, she is an island.
She is an island.
No one's ever going to really get it. No one's ever had her experience. No one's going to truly understand it. Everyone's going to have an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
No one's really going to know what's going on in her mind when she's making the song and how she's going about it or what her life really was like or what she was feeling and thinking at the time. Sure. I don't have the relationship where by proxy I feel like I'm going to be evaluated or enlightened or by truly understanding it. But I can see this and be like, yeah, these things, like, that's fucking tough. But I can also see these things being like, yeah, as an artist, like the imagery of the hanged woman coming off the gallows and floating down the street and wailing and screaming because that's what people depict her as she's a monster. She's a ghost. Oh, yep, she's Lannister on their throne drinking wine, but it's really their own tears. And like, this is what I do. I just date people and dump them, and then I cry about it and make. It's like, yeah, that's what people see me as. Like these little images of stuff. Sure, I'm saying the piece itself. It's the tapestry that's not quite woven. If it's the art piece of that. If this is like a painting of a soup can, or if this is like the machine that simultaneously knocks over a bucket and mops up the bucket, like it's art. I'm not going to argue it's not art. I'm just saying, like, I think with her entire avenue of what she's done, it's not quite strong compared to everything else.
That would have been a better opening than Pass.
Sure, but I wasn't thinking that when I started. I opened my mouth and I said what I felt. Stream of consciousness.
Maybe we should pick a new song.
Let's pick a new song.
Pick a new song.
Each and every week we roll the Jillian Petruzziello die. We pick an album. We pick a song. Getting lower on the list, but we'll get there.
We will.
Let's see here. Album number 9.
Evermore.
Evermore. Perfect. Getting back to the cottage. 17. Do that one? All right. 15.
So we're doing Evermore off Evermore.
Perfect. Evermore.
Evermore. Well, that'll be an adventure.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, make sure to like, follow, subscribe, rate, review. Tell all of your friends. Tell us who's afraid of little old you.
Yeah, let us know why Kate's right. Let us know why I'm wrong. Let us know if you've got a favorite theory coming around the bend. Are there going to be 2026 concert tickets being sold soon that the Kentucky Derby's ahead on?
Getting our Taylor Swift news from horses. Feels very debut coded.
I'll saddle up. Let's giddy up on this.
Jockeying for the tickets has never been so easy. Thanks again for listening. I'm Kait the Swiftie.
And I've been horsing around this entire time. Not so Swift Sam.
Thanks for listening to the Swift Talk. We'll be back next week.